Hey guys, it's Marshall Mathers IV here, back to you today with another video. And in today's video, I will be talking about the fact that I wish Eminem would have released his major label debut album, the Slim Shady LP, on November 13 in the year 1997, when he would have only been 25 years old. And the reasons why I wish he would have released his Slim Shady LP on November 13 in the year 1997 is because, first of all, he has a song on that album of his called 97 Bonnie and Clyde, where he's rapping about killing his wife Kim. And I mean, even that reason alone, I think he should have released his Slim Shady LP album on November 13 in the year 1997. Even for just that reason alone, because he has a song called 97 Bonnie and Clyde, being of course a abbreviation of 1997. And it's not like that's the only reason why I wish he would have released his Slim Shady LP on November 13 in the year 1997, but also because that album, to me personally, just the whole vibe of it, the look of it, the whole atmosphere of it and whatnot, it just feels so much more like a 1997 released hip-hop rap album than it does a fucking February 26, 1999 hip-hop rap album. And I mean, I guess that's just how I feel. But honest to God, I just feel like it's a much more 1997 looking and feeling hip-hop rap album than it is a 1999 hip-hop rap looking and feeling album. And the other reason why I wish he would have released his Slim Shady LP on November 13 in the year 1997 is because I was born in the year 1997. Not on November 13, 1997, but I was born on February 12 in the year 1997. And I would have loved it more than anything if my all-time favorite rapper, being Eminem, that I am a massive stan of, would have released his major label debut album, the Slim Shady LP, on November 13 in the year 1997, when he would have only been 25 years old, and the year that I would have been born. I think that would have been the coolest fucking thing ever. I just honestly feel like that would have been so awesome if the year I was born, my all-time favorite rapper, Eminem, would have released his major label debut album, the Slim Shady LP, on November 13 in the year 1997, when he would have only been 25 years old. And I will say that the only song on that album of his that would not have worked at the time of its release, if he would have released it on November 13 in the year 1997 at the age of only 25, the year, month, and day he should have, and the age that he should have been at when he released the album of his, would have been the song Role Model. And the reason I say that is because there is a line or verse, if you will, in his song Role Model, which he says, "When I smoke out, I hit the trees harder than Sonny Bono." And then he goes, "Oh no." And Sonny Bono was a singer who had a accident where he was skiing on January 5 in the year 1998. He was skiing. He had an accident where he hit a tree really hard that killed him, sadly. And that's such a horrible way to death. And it's just really sad it happened. But Eminem pretty much used that and turned it into like some sort of like twisted lyrics or verse in that song, which was still dope. And obviously, like, his Slim Shady alter ego is supposed to be dark and twisted and messed up, obviously, and pretty much make fun of like horrible events that go on and happen in our world. And he pretty much, his alter ego Slim Shady uses that to kind of poke fun at or make fun of, or to find like amusing or humorous, and to pretty much turn it into like a lyric or a verse or even an all-around song. And because of that line and verse, which was really dope, as a matter of fact, I would have preferred him to hold that song of his off until perhaps, or maybe, a Slim Shady LP 2 album that I wish he would have made and released, especially because he even had a lot of Slim Shady LP era tracks, some finished and some unfinished, that were left over, that I would have loved it if he would have made and released a Slim Shady LP 2 album, so he could have put those songs on that album of his, and the opening song be, of course, Role Model. But other than that, I mean, the album would have just been so much better and greater, in my opinion at least, if he would have released it on November 13 in the year 1997 at the age of only 25. But the song Role Model I would have replaced with another song, and that song be Get You Mad, which was first released on the special edition of Eminem's Slim Shady LP, and then the re-release of the expanded edition of his Slim Shady LP album that he released in the year 2019. And that song would have been a perfect replacement, because I love that song. I mean, that song Get You Mad is just beautiful, especially because of the beat is just so incredible. And I also wish that Eminem would have released the uncensored banned version of his song My Name Is, or Hi My Name Is. And what a lot of people don't know is there's actually an uncensored banned version of Eminem's song Hi My Name Is, or My Name Is. And in the banned uncensored version, he says that my teacher wanted to either have sex or fuck me in junior high. And then he says, the only problem was my English teacher was a guy. But in the more censored version, he just says, my English teacher wanted to flunk me in junior high. Thanks a lot. Next semester I'll be 35. But in the actual version, which is called the uncensored banned version, which is the version that I obviously wish we would have gotten on his Slim Shady LP, that's what he says. He says, my English teacher wanted to have sex with me in junior high. Either he said that or fuck me in junior high. And then he said, the only problem was my English teacher was a guy. Which obviously would have been way more controversial and offensive, even at the time that it was released. And another part in the actual uncensored banned version of Hi My Name Is, or My Name Is by Eminem, there's a part where he says, like, running over pedestrians and raping lesbians. And in the actual song, that's still explicit, he doesn't rap about raping lesbians. But in the uncensored banned version of Hi My Name Is, or My Name Is, he does say raping lesbians. And I just think it would have been so fucking dope if he would have released that version of Hi My Name Is, or My Name Is on his Slim Shady LP album. And, you know, one thing that also really pisses me off is the fact that if you go on Vivo, though there are no like explicit dirty versions of Eminem's earlier music videos, such as Hi My Name Is, or My Name Is, or Guilty Conscience featuring Dr. Dre, Role Model, and I Just Don't Give a Fuck. And it would have been awesome and really considerate and generous if Eminem would have released explicit dirty versions of all of his earlier music videos, even when they first were released and came out, as well as clean versions of his music videos for people who obviously are too sensitive and fragile and can't handle profanity. But to people who love and enjoy profanity and cursing or whatever and can handle it and can take it or whatever, obviously, like, it only makes sense that he should have released explicit, dirty versions of his earlier and older music videos. But sadly, he didn't, which really sucks. And the last thing that I really wish more than anything, and probably also one of the main things that I really do wish that Eminem would have made and released for his Slim Shady LP album, other than the fact that I strongly believe he should have released his Slim Shady LP album on November 13 in the year 1997, is the fact that I wish he would have made a deluxe edition of that album of his. And it pisses me the fuck off that he just literally missed out on that opportunity and chance to have made and released a deluxe edition to his Slim Shady LP album. And what tracks could he have released on a deluxe edition of his Slim Shady LP album? Or tracks that I personally would have loved and preferred him to have released on a deluxe edition of his Slim Shady LP album, if he would have made and released one, as he definitely should have, which would have been the tracks Low Down Dirty from his Slim Shady EP, No One's Iller Than Me featuring D12 from his Slim Shady EP, and Murder Murder featuring Tupac from his Slim Shady EP. But I would have wanted those tracks to have been the Slim Shady EP versions of them, or the original versions of those 3 tracks of his from his Slim Shady EP, because a lot of people may not even know or realize, but he actually did have like an earlier version of his Slim Shady LP track list, and those 3 tracks were going to be on the unmastered sequence version of his Slim Shady LP album that you can actually look up the old track listing to, but they were going to be different versions. They were going to be re-recorded versions with also different beats, like slightly altered and different beats. And I would not have wanted that. I would not have wanted like remastered or altered versions of those 3 tracks. I would have loved and wanted and preferred more than anything to have had the original Slim Shady EP versions of Low Down Dirty, No One's Iller Than Me featuring D12, and Murder Murder featuring Tupac, all from his Slim Shady EP, and just have been brought over and released on a deluxe edition of his Slim Shady LP album, which would have been so fucking awesome. And I'm so pissed the fuck off that Eminem, like I said, just totally missed out on such a great, wonderful opportunity and chance to have made and released a deluxe edition of his Slim Shady LP album. And it just aggravates me that he didn't do that, which would have been so generous and so considerate of him to have done, obviously way back in the day. But unfortunately he didn't, and there's nothing that we can do about it, and obviously none of us can change or alter time or history. None of us can go back, and honest to God, if I could go back in time, there are so many things I would have changed. Not just about when Eminem should have released his albums and other rappers, but also even things about my life. But I can't. And it just honestly kind of does torture and torment me knowing that Eminem didn't have and release a Slim Shady LP album exactly like the one I would have wanted and preferred. And also, it just pisses me off that he didn't release his Slim Shady LP album on November 13 in the year 1997, when he would have only been 25 years old. At the oldest that I personally feel like he should have been when he released that album of his. And what sucks is the fact that he could have released his major label debut hip-hop rap album, the Slim Shady LP, on November 13 in the year 1997, if he would have released his Slim Shady EP on December 15 in the year 1996, when he would have only been 24 years old, and then his Infinite Underground debut hip-hop rap album on November 12 in the year 1995, as he most definitely should have. And I would have loved it also if on Eminem's Slim Shady LP album, if he would have released it on November 13 in the year 1997, that I myself strongly believe he should have, we would have, instead of been hearing a 25, 26-year-old Eminem, would have been hearing a 24, 25-year-old Eminem, which would have been so fucking sweet if that would have been the case, and if that would have actually been the reality of things. That would have been so dope. And, you know, I also want to say that if Eminem would have been discovered and signed by Dr. Dre to his Aftermath rap record label company on March 9 in the year 1997 instead of March 9, 1998, and instead of Eminem being 25, only being 24, and instead of Dr. Dre being only 32 instead of 33, that would have given Eminem 8 months to have made and released and completed his Slim Shady LP album. And honest to God, sometimes I feel like Eminem has just been waiting so fucking long to release any of his rap albums. I'm dead serious. Like, compared to most other rappers, it just honestly seems like and looks like he takes way too long when releasing any of his rap albums, because, I mean, think about it. If he got signed on March 9 in the year 1998 at the age of only 25, and then released his Slim Shady LP album on February 26 at the age of 26 in the year 1999, that was 11 months. 11 months after being signed to Dr. Dre's Aftermath record label company. And what's crazy about it is I even have looked up on Google, how long does it take to make and release a rap album? Because I was curious and I wanted to know. And according to Google, at least, it only takes 4 to 6 months to make and release a rap album. But for some reason, Eminem took 11 months to release his Slim Shady LP album. And even if he didn't, I still would not have wanted that album of his to have came out and been released in the year 1998. Even if it would have came out in November or December or October of 98, I would not have wanted it to come out then. Because I wish, more than anything, Eminem would have released his Slim Shady LP album on November 13 in the year 1997 at the age of only 25. The year, month, and day he should have released that album of his, and should have been able to, and it sucks that he wasn't able to, and the age he should have been at when releasing that specific album of his. But anyway, let me know what you all think in the comment section down below. I'm out.